Welcome back to Court TV Live along with Julie Janae. I'm Ted Rollins. We're tracking several trials as we always do around the country. Today in New York, jury hearing testimony from rapper Kid Cudi in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial in federal court. Our Kelly Craft is going to join us in just a moment with the very latest.
We're also monitoring this courtroom in Tennessee where we're bringing you the post-conviction relief hearing for Zachary Adams. He's trying to get his conviction overturned for the murder of nursing student Holly Bobo. We'll get you back into that testimony in just a moment.
And in Massachusetts, testimony gets back underway on Tuesday in the murder retrial for defendant Karen Reed. The prosecution case is ahead of schedule, so court is dark today. Jurors getting a little bit of break, some time to absorb everything. This hour, we're going to look at the scene at 34 Fairview.
But we are going to start this hour with New York City.
Big witness.
A huge witness there in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. We have day and night artist Kid Cudi on the stand. Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft is joining us from on the ground. You've been inside of that courthouse, Kelly. Tell us the latest.
Hey there, Julia and Ted. So just some takeaways with Kid Cudi on the stand. One of the things that they asked him, this was under direct examination, and it got a reaction. So there's the main courtroom, of course, and then there's an overflow room. You can't make any noise in that main courtroom, but in the overflow room, there was a lot of laughter because he was asked, what was your reaction to your car being torched? And he just kind of looked, he paused, and then he said, what the... And then you know what he said after that. And then at one point, even prior to that, they asked him if his car Porsche could be repaired, and he started yawning. So obviously a little too early here this morning in New York City for Kid Cudi to be on the stand. So he was yawning at some points. But he was talking about that incident when he found out that his Porsche had been torched. He said he had gotten a call from his dog sitter, and then he went in. We saw some photographs of the torching of that Porsche. You saw the inside of the door, and then we have some testimony we can put up for you on the screen in which he was talking about what exactly took place. Let's go ahead and put that up for you. He was saying that he told the jury that after Combs found out he was dating Ventura, Combs allegedly broke into his house. When he got back home, Cudi noticed that his security cameras had been moved and his dog was locked in the bathroom. He testified that he had filed a police report. Also some other testimony that we can put up for you in which he was talking more about the Molotov cocktail car fire. This was in 2012. The jury did see some photographs of the car damage. He testified, it looks like the top of my Porsche was cut open, and that's where the Molotov cocktail was put in. So the cross-examination of Kid Cudi is just getting underway. So what he's being asked by Mr. Steele, defense counsel, one of the defense counsel for Sean Combs, is about his relationship with Cassie and how he had said on the stand, Kid Cudi, that he felt Cassie played him because he was under the impression that him, Sean Combs, as well as Cassie, were no longer dating. So Mr. Steele used his words, and he said, yeah, I did feel like that. And so he said he was upset that Cassie had returned back to Sean Combs. So really interesting to see him up there on the stand, very cool, calm, collected in his testimony. Sean Diddy is sitting back in his chair, just listening. When we took a break a little bit earlier, Sean got up and really did a lot of stretching. So maybe he's tired too.
It is day 9, right, Kelly? They have been at this for now 2 weeks, going into this long weekend. But thank you for all of those details coming out of that courtroom.
Yeah, Kelly Craft will be with us pretty much on the hour, every hour, and updating us as we get the very latest for you in the case against Sean Diddy Combs with no cameras. But we have our team there. Jack Rice is watching along with us. He's a criminal defense attorney. He's a former prosecutor. Jack, your thoughts on the significance of the Kid Cudi portion of all of this, if the jury believes it, and I don't know why they wouldn't. This is a scenario where Sean Combs is now trying to control-ish, or at least hurt Cassie because of her new relationship, that she's now left him, so he is still menacing. How effective is that for the federal government?
Ted, Julia, this is one more brick in the wall. I mean, that's really what the prosecution is doing. And remember, this conspiracy concept is basically designed to take every bad act, regardless of who did it, how they were connected to Combs, and then wrap them around them. And so this is just one more piece of that. And what I think you're really getting from Kid Cudi is credibility. I mean, there's nothing about this that doesn't even feel false. It feels true in the sense of how he's delivering it. I recognize that the defense is trying to say, well, yeah, you might have some biases and you might have some issues tied to Cassie and how those were played and how that might motivate you to either exaggerate or post blame in ways that you can't. But the problem is it's coming across as really, really credible. And that's going to resonate with the jury. And it's up to them to sort of take that brick and put it into the wall. But I think it's happening very slowly, very carefully, very clearly.
Jack, this is really the first witness who's taking the stand who has a lot of fame, money, and power in their own right. Cassie Ventura, sure, and Don Richard, they had some fame, but a lot of it was connected to Sean Combs. He controlled their careers, is what we're hearing in court. Kid Cudi, I think, is one of the first people to come in who this jury can really wonder why he would have any reason to lie.
Oh, boy, Julia, it's such a great way you put that, because that's always the question, isn't it? I mean, when we think about somebody testifying, one of the things that you want to do is you want to basically introduce this person to the jury and say, understand who they are, their motivations, where they are sort of in the context of this case, and that you can trust them if you're introducing them. So when they take the stand and they start talking, you say, I believe that. Because of, as you just described, his own personal position, he's credible. What he's saying isn't hardly in some ways tied to Combs himself. He is who he is in his own right. And so when he says something, you're going to have far more of a tendency to believe it. By the way, a lot of defense attorneys sometimes, and prosecutors too, when they're inexperienced, they forget that first part of a piece of testimony. When you put somebody on the stand, you need to take the time to explain to the JR, but also why you should believe them.
I am here. You are watching at Marayu 28. If you feel that the truth behind power is not always flashy, then like this video and write in the comments, justice should be equal. Would you like to tell us what to make next? A perspective video on Diddy's victims or another celebrity crime case with the same storytelling style?